Happy Tuesday! It is the day before school starts, and I am starting my Tuesday with an arm workout. Okay, this is what I've got going for breakfast. I was going to have peanut butter banana on toast, but the banana didn't look quite ripe enough for my liking. And then this slice is avocado toast because I wanted some sweet and also some savory. And this avocado is absolutely beautiful. Oh, it was so satisfying to crack into. And I'm gonna have this with water. I do have an iced coffee, but it's in the freezer right now, trying to get a little bit more cold. And I usually like to have my iced coffee while I'm doing work anyway, so I'm gonna hold off on that for a little bit. It is 10 a.m. and I'm feeling so good after doing my workout. I'm feeling energized and strong, so I'm going to enjoy some YouTube while I eat this, and I'll check in with you probably when I'm doing my work. Here I am back in the library once again, and I started by doing a ton of Duolingo, and then I also went on my Canvas website, looked up all of my different classes to ensure that I didn't have any assignments that were due on the first day of school that I had missed. I looked over tuition stuff just to make sure everything was paid for, sent a few emails, and checked my inbox, as emails are always crazy before the first day of school, and basically just did a ton of organizational tasks so I could feel 100% ready for the next day. In this clip, I was just working on doing some scheduling, so I made an in-depth schedule for my first day of school, including all of the stuff I needed to do the night before the first day of school, as well as a schedule for Thursday and for Friday. Now, I definitely don't schedule out every single minute of my day every day. I feel like that might be a bit excessive for my taste. But when I'm about to start something big, like the first day of school, I do like to have a nice strict schedule just to get me started. Because this is the last day of summer before school starts, I thought I would just kind of talk about how I'm feeling about school starting up again. The first thing that I really have noticed is that it feels like I haven't been in school forever, and so I feel kind of nervous to go back, even though I'm a junior, so I'm not like new to the college thing, but I feel like a little bit more nervous than I was my sophomore year of college, just because I feel like we've literally taken such a long break. I'm gonna turn off my fan real quick so you can hear me a little bit better. Anyway, so I am feeling a little bit more nervous than I have in the past, and I think the class that I'm definitely most nervous for is my honors seminar, which is on monsters and the monstrous. And I'm really intimidated because I haven't taken an honors class since the summer of 2019. I actually took off the year because I was, pretty heavily loaded with other classes. So just going back to honors is going to be interesting because they always do pose a bit more of a challenge, especially in terms of the workload that you get. And this particular professor I've never had before. She has great reviews, but her emails are incredibly professional, and frankly, I do not feel smart enough. I feel so stupid. Like, the more and more I read from her and her expectations, and I looked over the assignments and everything to get a feel of the class, I feel so dumb. Like, I haven't worked on analyzing things and I'm already not a confident writer, and I haven't done it in a while, and I feel so rusty and stupid. Like, I used to feel relatively confident about my writing and analytical abilities, and then I came to the honors college and I didn't feel very confident anymore. I've always done well in honors classes grade-wise, but I just have never felt very confident in the work I produce, and her expectation just seems incredibly high, and her expertise and intelligence level really shows. And all of the honors professors that I've had have come from an extremely intelligent background, but her approach just seems a bit more intimidating and less inviting than previous professors. I really do like the approach, if I'm honest. Like, if it's going to be a challenging course, I'd like to know right up front. And she's definitely let us know that it will be challenging, but I'm just really nervous because I don't know what to expect. And I really want to establish a good rapport with her. Like, I've never even met her yet, but just from her emails, she just really seems like someone I want to know, because I feel like I could learn and gain so much from her, because she is so intimidatingly intelligent. That is someone that I really want to get to know and establish a great rapport with. But I feel like in order to do that, I need to be impressive, and in terms of the ideas I can bring forth, and I'm just doubting my abilities a little bit. So that's how I'm feeling about that class and college in general, because I'm not really worried about the other classes I'm taking. I'm more excited for a lot of those. Not that I'm not excited for honors, I'm just really nervous for it. As I mentioned, I want to establish rapport with her, but I also really want to establish rapport with my psychology advisor, who's a professor, and I've never actually met with her yet. And that's a goal I have for my junior year in general, is to just establish more of a rapport with the psychology professors and the honors professors, because I've taken honors classes in person, but I never felt like I really got connected to any of the professors I've previously taken from. So I'm really hoping that this semester that changes, and then I really want to establish better rapport with the psychology faculty, because once again, I've done well in those classes, but I have taken them all online, and so that has made me feel like they aren't really people I could approach for recommendations and such. And I'm really going to need recommendations to get into a master's program, and I don't want all my recommendations to be from music theater professors if I want to get a master's in marriage and family therapy. So I really want to work to get closer to the psychology staff. I'm actually not taking a psych class this semester, which is why I want to actually meet with my advisor, so at least I'm interacting with some psychology faculty member. But next semester I will be taking a class, or at least in the summertime, and I'm really going to go out of my way to talk to the psych professors at their office hours, and just, yeah, like I mentioned, get to know them and interact with them more than I have in the past. I'm finding that to be really important this year. And I have some other goals that I want to look at in my junior year, and I think I'm going to write down those goals as well, so I can just have a good head on my shoulders for what I want out of this academic school year. So I will be doing that later in the vlog. Because tomorrow is the first day of school, I thought I would just go over what my schedule is looking like, as well as the goals I have for my junior year. So I'll start out with my goals. So my first goal is to establish rapport with the psychology advisor, and my second goal is to establish rapport with an honors, my honors professor, which I've already discussed. For my third goal, I really want to be proud of the vocal juries that I do this semester and in spring semester, because I haven't really been proud of my vocal juries in the past, and they were a really big deal in the music theater major. For my fourth goal, I want to become more flexible and work toward my middle splits. I have time spaced out in the day to stretch, so I should be able to accomplish this goal, and being more flexible is something that's just really important to me. For number 5, I would love to get all A's. Now I know that grades are not always a reflection of everything you learned, but I have been able to achieve all A's in the past, and this is why it's a goal. It's not an expectation, so if I don't achieve it, I won't be incredibly upset, but I think I can achieve that and I'm going to work towards that. And then for number 6, I want to volunteer with the organizations I've talked about previously, the theater company, as well as the A Moment of Magic organization. Not only will this help me give back to others, but I'm also just really looking forward to working with others and enjoying that space and time to volunteer and give of myself, because that's when I feel really fulfilled. So now let's discuss my schedule. So Monday and Wednesdays look pretty much the same. From 8:30 until 10:15 I have acting for musical theater, and then from 10:30 to 11:45 I have dance for musical theater, and then I have a break, and then from 2 o'clock until 3:15 p.m. I have my honors seminar, which is the Monsters course that I was talking about. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays look very different. So on Tuesday, I actually don't have any classes except for my voice lesson from 12:30 until 1:30. I was supposed to have jazz dance on Tuesdays, but we have a max capacity in the room that we can dance in, so it's a hybrid course, which means I only have to show up on Thursdays and the other half of the class shows up on Tuesdays. But on Tuesdays I have written assignments for jazz dance, and then on Thursdays I actually will dance in that class. So that brings me to Thursday. So on Thursday I have jazz dance from 9:30 until 10:45, and then I have a piano lesson from 12:30 until 1:30 on Thursdays. And then I also have one online class that is completely online, and that is my African Studies class, which is called Racing Children. Sorry, my phone just went off, but it's called Racing Children, and it's about how children grow up to learn about race and how their environment, surroundings, cultural, all of that kind of stuff influences how they see race and how we learn about race. And I'm really excited to take that class. That is for my Childhood and Adolescent Studies certificate. So there is my schedule and my junior year goals. I feel good about this year. I'm nervous, but I also feel ready. I feel prepared. And I feel more determined than in years past to make it successful. Also, I totally forgot to mention that I am also in a musical called Working, and that rehearses a lot. It starts in September and it picks up throughout September, and by the end of September, actually pretty much by like the second week of September, we're rehearsing Tuesday through Friday from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. and then on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is a huge commitment, and yes, it is worth credits, so I am listing it as a class because it is a class. So yes, I almost forgot about that because it's not a traditional class, and it's not on the schedule that I have on my computer as a reference because it's at nighttime, obviously, but yes, that is also another class I'm taking. So now I'm going to make dinner. I'm going to have some butter noodles and vegetables. Yum. And I'm going to make a double serving so that way I can have that tomorrow for lunch, and I don't have to think about lunch at all. I can just come home, put it in the microwave, and eat it. I have some veggie noodles with butter, and there's also some onions in there. Of course, I have my veggies, because you gotta get your veggies in. This is rice, cauliflower, and broccoli, and then I just have some water. And I'll be watching Gilmore Girls, per usual. Something that I had realized earlier in the day was that I was actually not finished with my honors assignment. In the email my professor had sent us, she had mentioned that we had to do one reading, but when I went on the Canvas website, I saw that we actually had to do a discussion introduction post, which I had done earlier that day, but we also had to do a second reading, so that's what I was doing right here. After I completed that reading, I took a shower and then I called Drew, and while I was calling him, I was just kind of prepping for the next day, so I made my coffee in advance so I could put it in the fridge overnight so it would be nice and cold. I put my water bottle in the fridge overnight so it would be cold. I packed my backpack, set out my outfit for the next day, etc. And then I was all ready for the first day of school. You would not be